The NDRRMC is called to order. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Mr. President, good afternoon and happy birthday. We will hear the welcome remarks of the Honorable Governor Roel Degamo.
Hello. Cabinet Secretaries, Regional Directors, other dignitaries, city and municipal officials, distinguished guests, colleagues in government service, ladies and gentlemen, maayong hapon atong tanan. While the province of Negros Oriental is still reeling from the brunt of tropical storm Sindong, it was once again rocked by another calamity in the form of the 6.9 magnitude earthquake last Monday. When you last came, Mr. President, I said that this is a totally new experience for the province of its people. For the past several weeks since Sindong, we have been very busy doing our best to rebuild and rehabilitate the damaged infrastructures, among others, caused by the storm. Most importantly, we have also been trying our best to rebuild our spirit as a people. But like we always say, the people of Negros Oriental are strong in spirit and character, and we believe that we will be able to rise from this in good time. On top of this is always our strong faith in God and the power of prayers. All this, Mr. President, I assure you, as governor of this province, we will rise from the rubbles and surpass these trials. I would like to inform you that masaya po kaming mga tao sa Negros Oriental na during your birthday nandito ka sa amin. Mas maganda sana na pagbati ang aming maipag-aabot sa iyo, kung hindi lang dahil sa pangyayaring ito. With that, in behalf of the people of Negros Oriental, we wish you happy birthday and continue to live a good life in order to lead us through your matuwid na landas. If we thought that Sindong was the worst in terms of damages on property, agriculture, infrastructure, and lives lost, I am afraid the recent earthquake had caused us more damage. So far, my office has recorded 26 fatalities, with more than 50 people are still missing. There are about 11,000 affected families, especially coming from the 1st Congressional District, the area that was badly hit by the earthquake. Initially, we have recorded 665 million pesos worth of damage on infrastructure. To be honest, Mr. President, your coming today is very timely, as we badly need your help. Considering that the recent incident has greatly affected our economic activity in particular, and our people in general. As governor of the province, and on behalf of the people of Negros Oriental, I am greatly relieved that you have come to personally assess our situation. Finally, it is my wish that next time you come to our province is not because of a calamity or any untoward incident, Mr. President. Thank you, and may God bless us all.
Thank you very much, Governor. We now will hear the PILOC's report on the earthquake by Director Ernesto.
May be permitted to stand up. Ernesto Solidum, Director ng PILOC, UST, at gusto ko magbigay ng update tungkol sa nangyaring magnitude 6.9 na lindol at kung ano pa ang ating nakikita sa mga susunod na araw linggo. Next slide. Ang Visayas ay nalilindol pero hindi madalas. Makikita dito sa litrato ang iba't ibang lindol na nangyari. Pag maliliit, mas mahina ang magnitude, habang lumalaki, mas mataas. Ang huling malakas na paglindol ay sa Southern Negros ng May 5, 1928. Ang mga bayan sa Southern Negros Island ay naapektuhan. In 1948 naman, magnitude 6.8 po yun. In 1948, magnitude 8.2 ang tumama sa Panay Island ng Negros. Ang sinasabi ko, yung malalakas na paglindol ay madalang. Kaya nga yung kahapon ay pangatlo na sa pinakamalakas na nangyari dito. So dito po yung epicentro. Paano po nagpo-monitor ang DSWD PHIVOX ng mga lindol? We have a modern 66 station seismic network all over the Philippines. Kaya nga po, mga liliit na aftershock ay nare-record natin dito. Next slide. May mga fault po sa Central Negros, dito po sa malapit sa Pinangyarihan, at may mga potential na mag-landslide kapag nagkakaroon ng paglindol. Meron din po ang paglambot ng lupa na nakita nyo na minsan ay cause po ng pagbagsak ng lupa o pag-spread o pag-fissure, pagbuka ng lupa. Next slide. Ano ba ang nangyari noong Lunes? Magnitude 6.9 na nasa shoreline town ng Tayasan. At ang unang na-report sa atin, ang pinakamataas na intensity ay sa epicenter area tulad ng Tayasan, Guihulngan, at iba pang mga bayan tulad ng Dumaguete City. At umabot po ang lindol even 200 to 300 kilometers northeast hanggang Albay ay naramdaman, pati po sa Borongan, Eastern Samar, Panay Island, and Northern Mindanao hanggang Pagadian City. Dahil po sa lakas, malawak po ang nakaramdam, pero hindi po ito naging destructive sa karamihan. Ang destruction lang or damage ay magsisimula sa intensity 6 o intensity 7 na lugar. Nagkaroon po tayo ng modeling. Meron pong software ang PHIVOX DSWD na pwede natin malaman gaano kataas ang intensity po. Para mas maintindihan natin, ang intensity ay nilagyan ng kulay sa ating simulation. Yung pula, ito po ang intensity 7 at posible po ang intensity 8. Base na kung maglalagay pa tayo ng mga observation, titingnan ng ating mga tao, ano ba ang naging damage. Bakit po mataas doon? Explain ko mamaya. Pagdating sa Dumaguete, 7, pero yung green, nagsisimula naman po yan sa intensity 6 to intensity 5. No? So, sa Panay, hindi masyado ang damage at pati sa Bohol and other parts. So, yung may pula pong lugar, ang maraming damage at nabisita nyo po. Next slide. Bakit po nagkaroon ng lindol? Kung makukumpara natin ito sa 1990 Luzon earthquake, ang kumalaw po ay Philippine Fault Zone, vertical po ang fault at horizontal. Ang nangyari po dito sa Central Negros ay diagonal po ang fault, ang tawag namin ay thrust fault, pareho po ng kilos dito, may pag-angat mula sa ilalim. May pagka-horizontal yung mostly vertical. Kaya nga, yung mga lugar na malapit sa epicentro ay mas mataas ang pagdilim. Next slide. Dahil po, napaangat ang lupa at nagkaroon ng warning ang Pacific Tsunami Warning Center mula sa Hawaii na posibleng magkaroon ng lokal na tsunami dito sa karagatan sa Negros and Cebu, in-evaluate muna natin kasi ang sabi nila destructive. Mahirap yun kasi kailangan natin evaluate at pinag-aralan namin mabuti kung anong posibleng mangyari dito sa paligid ng Negros. Hindi tayo nag-order ng evacuation kundi sinabi lang natin magmatsyag ang mga tao baka may kakaibang alon na makita. Kaya tinaas lang natin ang alert level 2. At confirm po na umatras po ang tubig, yung iba ay 30 meters at bumalik ng less than 1 meter. Parang batyak po yan na kapag inalok nyo, ay gagalaw yung tubig. Kaya ang purpose po natin, ma-warningan ng mga tao na huwag lumapit sa beach habang delikado at yung mas malayo ng mga bayan mula sa epicentro ay ma-warningan baka hindi nila alam.
Bumalik na 1 meter.
Less than 1 meter. Ibig sabihin, pag umatras mo yung tubig, bumalik ulit ng tubig,
Umatras ng 30.
umatras ng 30, yung
Umatras ng 1.
height ang kuya. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, hindi naman delikado.
Sorry, 30 yung
Pagkatras.
height pa.
Opo.
Okay. Pero yung height kung bumalik siya, 1
Less than 1 meter po. So, ibig sabihin,
not too tall away.
not total away. Kaya ibig po sabihin, hindi kailangan mag-evacuate. Magpa-check lang po, ano? Kaya alert level 2 lang po yun. For info lang po, kapag sinabi natin alert level 3, yun po may evacuation na. Ngayon, makalipas yung 2 oras na observation period or 2.5 hours after the earthquake, nakita na namin wala ng peligro. So, nilift na po natin ang tsunami. So, in-announce na po natin yan, inulit ko, wala pong peligro sa tsunami ngayon. Kaya yung mga taong pwedeng bumalik naman sa malapit sa baybayin, naligtas ang kanilang bahay, ay okay naman po magsimula noong Lunes. Next slide.
In spite of aftershocks.
Okay. Ito po ang babalikin ko. Ano po ang nangyayaring paglindol? As of 1 p.m., ay may 1,200 plus po ang aftershocks na i-record ng ating mga instrumento. Ano po ba ang ibig sabihin nito? Ito po ang epicentro at ito po yung na-map out natin ng mga aftershock. Nararamdaman yung iba, mga 75 ang nararamdaman, ang karamihan hindi po nararamdaman. Pero ano po ang trend? Magmula ng lindol, dumami po ang bilang nung bandang alas 6 nung nagkaroon ng magnitude 6.2 na aftershock. Pero magmula noon, mapapansin nyo, umukontin ang bilang, general trend. Ganun din dito, yung cumulative, o i-add po natin kada oras, ang mga nabilang na since the aftershock ay nagpipik na po, no? So, 1,000, 1,200. Ano pong ibig sabihin ito? Yung mga lugar na ang mga bahay ay may damage, dapat i-inspect ng ating mga engineer. At kung hindi naman structural ang problema, ay safe naman kasi hindi natin inaasahan yung mga aftershock na kasing lakas ng Lunes. Okay, next slide po. Ano po ba ang nangyari nung lindol? Summary lang po kasi mapapasyan naman ito. Summary, malakas na pag-inig, nagkaroon ng damage sa ibang struktura. Liquefaction, paglambot ng lupa kung saan ibang mga bahagi ng lupa ay bumagsak, hindi kaya ay bumuka. Napansin niyo po siguro, Your Excellency, yung mga roads na bumuka. Landslide, yun po ang mas marami ang nagkaroon ng kamatayan at yung unusual wave na nagkaroon ng pag-atras at pagtaas ng tubig or minor tsunami. Next slide. Ano po ang ginawa ng DOST? Lunes pa lang, meron na po tayong geologist, hindi lang makadiretso sa Dumaguete at hindi makadaan. Ano ang purpose ng ating quick response team? Meron po tayong 7 na nakabase sa Dumaguete, isa doon sa Canlaon. Unang-una, paano naman mapakalma ang kalooban ng ating mga kababayan. To allay the fears, i-explain po nila kung bakit nagkalindol at i-explain din nila na hindi na malaki yung mga aftershock na nangyayari. Kukunta kami ng damage assessment at pag-aaral din nangyari. Ang mga geologists po, seismologists at engineers ang narito. Magkakaroon po ng pagkikipagpulong na una na po kahapon kay Governor at mga mayors para naman maintindihan yung nangyayari at posible pa mangyayari. Next slide. Okay. Pagdating sa lindol, ano po ba ang ating ina-expect pa? Sinasabi natin, katulad ng 1990, mga aftershocks ay mararamdaman pa sa mga susunod na mga linggo. Depende na yan. Bakit po may aftershock? Kasi habang pumapara yung fault na kumilos, dahan-dahang pumapara at nag-a-adjust yung mga bato sa kapaligiran niya. Expected po yun. Pero hindi po yan magkakaroon at hindi natin inaasahan na kasing lakas ng magnitude 6.9 yung aftershock. And most likely, habang tatagal, ay paunti ng paunti na yung aftershock. So, ano po ang dapat gagawin? Next slide. Unahin ko muna yung nasa baba. Magkaroon po ng mga inspection ng mga bayad building at mga infrastruktura, tulad ng mga tulay at kalsada. Sa mga bahay, kung pwede nang bumalik ang mga tao, kung okay naman yung mga bahay, safe naman. Pangalawa, i-enhance pa natin ang ating earthquake awareness and preparedness and tsunami awareness and preparedness at magkaroon ng mga drill dito sa lokal na pamahalaan. Tutulungan po natin. Pagpaplano po ay kailangan kasama pa rin ang disaster. Ngayon, ano po ang immediate issue? Kapag lumindol po at may aftershock, kapag may mga damage na bahay structurally mahina, baka mapadamage pa yan, delikado. Pero papag-aralan yon. Yung landslide naman, yung mga susceptible sa landslide, dahil po may hunana o na-apektuhan na, kapag may aftershock, mag-iingat yung mga rescuer at yung mga kalapit na mga lugar na na-landslide na dati. At siguro dapat tingnan na rin natin, paano kung umulan? So mas magiging susceptible po yung mga nalindol na matatarik ng lugar kapag umulan kasi malambot na. Yun po siguro ang aking advice sa mga local government na paghandaan din ito, hindi lang yung lindol, pati na rin baka umulan later. Okay? Yun lang po at maraming salamat.
Yung effectivity ng kanilang information drive seems to be very lacking. So we're asking the LGUs to assist people to be able to disseminate the information to our people. Yung lahat pinaalala yung, they're actually expecting tsunamis in the 2 places that we went to. Now, if you look at the tsunami hazard map, it is all the other Negros Oriental. So it is unnecessary for them to keep on adding to their anxiety. it's the LGUs that we have to rely on to get the PBOX to be able to communicate the same message to everyone.
Thank you very much, Director Solido. The President brought with him the different secretaries from the different departments, and we will hear the actions that were taken by the different agencies. First on the list will be DSWD Secretary Suliman.
Mayong hapon kaninyong tanan, Mr. President, and the Governor and the mayors who are here. And of course, Congresswoman Limkaichong, whose district was very affected. We just came from there, and colleagues in cabinet. The support that we have given so far is as follows. Right now, as of our monitoring, but the number can grow, there are 12,286 families affected. I said the number can grow because we were just informed by the mayor of Guihulngan, that in his count, there are about 80,000 individuals. So that's about 17,000 families or thereabouts. But inaano pa namin, we are validating that. Right now, sila pa rin ang pinakamalaki, which is 1,400. Bindoy is 455, Guihulngan is 1,400, La Libertad is 200, but that is also being validated. Himalalud is 8,000 and Tayasan is 2,231. These are families affected by the earthquake. As of yesterday, we have transported the following in Guihulngan, which arrived this morning via a boat from Toledo, which is about 2,000 food packs in for Guihulngan and La Libertad, and we're going to have an additional 4,000 food packs towards the end of the day. Dinadaan po namin ang mga goods sa ngayon sa Toledo, from Toledo, Cebu to Guihulngan. And for the succeeding ones, we will be also procuring from San Carlos and using the Philippine National Police and Armed Forces boat trucks, i-deliver din doon. In addition to that, we've sent 2,000 bottled water, mats, mosquito nets, 40 pieces of tents, laundry soaps, and blankets with the Navy boat. And the total amount of that is 2,405,000 plus. Coming in from a C-130, 20 units of generator at 220 volts, an additional 11 tents, 2,500 mats, blankets, and then kitchenware, kaldero, sandok, water jug, and mga plato. Kasi learning from Sendong, pati yung mga gamit na yon ay kinailangan. We have also given for early recovery, which is cash for work, para mabigyan na ng sweldo, 75% of the minimum wage, yung mga maglilinis. Nag-iwan po kami sa Guihulngan ng 3,300,000 pesos, which the mayor will be managing together with our regional office. It has been turned over to him this morning, to Mayor Reyes, and the mayor of La Libertad. We also gave 1 million plus, 1,300,000 for La Libertad. And the President will be turning over, to the Governor for the rest of the other towns, 5,700,000 for cash for work. And ang idea po ng cash for work, hindi lang po yung makatulong sa paglilinis, pero bahagi din po ito ng pagsisigurado ng normalisasyon ng isang nakadaan sa trauma. En route, tuloy-tuloy po ang pagdagdag ng relief packs at nag-a-assess po kami together with the local government unit and the housing group kung ilan ang kailangan po nating ilaan para sa core shelter. Which means yung core shelter po ay yung pagtatayo muli ng mga bahay na nasira, totally damaged and partially damaged. Yung totally damaged po namin as of now, ang damaged houses is 137, ang totally damaged is 45, and partially damaged is 92. Again, this is initial kasi kailangan naming maabot yung mga malalayong lugar. We are also coordinating and the lead is DOH on the stress debriefing. Finally, we're mobilizing the humanitarian team of the United Nations and they've already committed to provide 2 big tents para magamit as hospital in Guihulngan. That is all, Mr. President.
Maraming salamat, Secretary Dinky. Pakinggan naman natin, Secretary Dumaguete, tungkol sa mga presyo ng bilihin.
Ang pinakamalaki yung problema ngayon is yung availability ng goods, no? Dahil sarado po yung mga tindahan at sinusubukan po natin pabuksan yung mga tindahan na yun. Kinakausap na po natin mga may-ari. May isa pong tindahan na nagbukas today, pero dinumog po ng tao, kaya natakot yung may-ari, sinarado ulit yung tindahan. So, we're coordinating with Secretary Robredo para mabigyan ng police protection yung mga tindahan na papabuksan mo natin bukas. At maliban po doon, nagko-coordinate po tayo with several distributors. Medyo nag-offer rin sila ng help. So, ang gagawin po natin magpapadala po tayo ng goods doon na ititinda natin doon sa NFA compound at distributors prices. Hopefully by Friday po, mabubuksan rin sa NFA para magtitinda po tayo ng mga basic commodities.
Thank you very much, Secretary Greg. Pakinggan naman natin si Secretary Babe Singson tungkol sa ating mga tulay, mga kalsadang nasira.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. Good afternoon po sa inyong lahat. So far, what we have assessed is we have 13 bridges on the national road damaged. And ang pinakagrabe po dito ay centering around 113. 13 bridges damaged of varying degrees. Pero mukhang yung tatlo, Mr. President, kailangan total replacement. So, what we're doing now is we have mobilized 15 teams, no? 3 from government, 12 from government, DPWH Central, Region, plus the district, and 3 coming from the private sector. The Philippine Institute of Civil Engineers also mobilized to help in the assessment. So, the immediate thing for them to do, as suggested by PBOX, is to assess and inspect infrastructures. This will include roads, bridges, and public buildings, no? So that we will know exactly the extent of the damage, kung pwede pang gamitin o kailangan i-restructure or i-reconstruct. No? For the immediate action that we will do, lahat ng mga collapse o may mga cut na bridges, we have, as the President has seen, we installed footbridges para matawid yung tulay na sira. No? And then we are also going to look at alternate routes, lalong-lalo na yung mga bridges na permanently that we need to replace. No? We are also mobilizing temporary bailey bridges para ganun yung mga matagal gawin, we can start using them while we are constructing the replacement. No? So, may mga ibang tulay na mababago ng konti yung alignment dahil yung bago ilalagay na namin sa bagong alignment and we will use the existing bridge utilizing the temporary bailey bridges. No? Now, for the road cuts, nakita nyo yung mga ibang portions, may angat, may nakalubog. pinapabasag na namin yung pavement noon at saka ipapafill na namin para magamit. So, humingi ako ng konting paumanhin, magiging maalikabok yan while we are going to permanently pave the roads. But in the meantime, ang gusto namin, madaanan na agad. No? So, we will be immediately repairing. We are mobilizing about 15 major equipment in the area, Mr. President, so that we can start restoring the roads and bridges immediately. Yun lang po.
Yes, sir. Yung Sendo, can you also give us a report? Sendo.
Mr. President, the last time we were here, we committed to restore one bridge in Tanhay. It was restored within the 4 days that we committed. Valencia. Meron pa kami isang tinatapos. We estimated about 33 million worth of repairs. We're still finalizing the program of work for the one in Valencia, if I'm not mistaken.
Funding for this is available already.
Yes, Mr. President. And the same is true with all the bridges. We will be utilizing our own quick response fund to be able to mobilize the immediate repair. So, as I promised Congresswoman Josie, we will work on the bridges,
Yung housing, we haven't moved. Yung Governor, housing, wala pa tayo ba?
Actually, Mr. President, we are trying to, we are still looking for a safe area. Kaya kailangan kasi natin ng bagong assessment sa peoples kung saan yung safe area talaga.
Pero yung lalo na yung mga nakatira doon sa creek beds. Creek beds.
Siya, oo.
Susunod yun natin sa river bank na 1 meter away.
Yeah.
Priorities na. Kung tayo mabot ng tagulan, bago natin dito.
Dito sa Dumaguete, mayroon ng area sila.
And this is the funds, 93 million is set aside for housing. That's ready. As soon as you...
The province also setting aside 15 million for that.
As soon as you have the land.
Yes.
Energization. Re-energization.
Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, may hapon ka ninyong tanan. The total number of poles that we lost in the area was actually 23, most of which was in Guihulngan with 12. The rest were between 1 and 4. We lost, there was damage to 6 transformers, of which 5 have already been restored. We have restored energy from Tubais, Manhuyot, Mabinay, Bindoy, Ayungod, and Tayasa. The only areas that don't have electricity right now is Malao, Libertad, Guihulngan, Villahermoso, and Canlaon City. Although not too much damage, it's because the transmission line passes to Guihulngan. That's why they don't have electricity. By tonight, we will finish the restoration of all the distribution lines in Guihulngan, and we are planning to energize it. The reason why we will not commit to it, and we said that at the latest Friday, is really, although there is no visual damage to the transmission lines of the National Grid Corporation, it's still possible that there are damages. If when we energize later, there is no damage to the transmission line, then Guihulngan, Villahermosa, and Canlaon will definitely be energized. La Libertad and Himalao are scheduled for completion by Friday, Mr. President. We've also asked Seneco,
Friday, February 10th.
this Friday, Mr. President, to augment the operation, Mr. President, because the head office of Noreco 1 is here in Bindoy. Seneco, or Central Negros Electric Company, actually took care of the repairs coming from Canlaon, Villahermoso down to Guihulngan. That's why the work there is very fast. Our immediate problem is the La Libertad and Himalalo, where it's access, Mr. President, and we're actually using carabaos to move the poles just to do it. But we have a very good fighting chance, almost sure that by Friday everything will be restored.
Yung water systems for Libertad and Inutan natin ka rin ba?
Mr. President, as far as La Libertad, may cut portion doon ng mga 500 to 600 meters. the agreement there is we will utilize what DOH has in stock. And I have already given instructions to the district engineer to do the repairs immediately. Now, we are also just trying...
Pagkaroon wala ng mga bidding requirements, wala ng...
by administration na namin gagawin.
For another town.
Yung sa iba, my understanding is we will have to assess kung alin portions ang sira doon sa Guihulngan. But as far as there is one mobile water treatment plant that we are ready to move from Cagayan de Oro to Negros. So kung kailangan pa, ready to move yung galing na doon sa Cagayan de Oro.
Pero depende na. How do you run this power? Power is
Generator po.
Gano'ng maraming kuryente kailangan? Water purification plant.
Most of the water purification equipment, Mr. President, are standalone systems. They come with their own generators.
Yung fuel support mo this etc.
Mr. President, all the depots of the oil companies are at full level, including here in Dumaguete and Visayas. The real problem is to bring them to the sites of those 4 towns which are affected.
Normally, how many days of life was the last day?
Normally, they would have at least 15 to 30 days, Mr. President. Because low volume, Mr. President, we load them with 10,000 different tanks. However, in situations like this, the oil companies are ready to open the supply. They even have tanker boats ready to transport this gas.
Do you, sir, do you have exact date when kailan natin ma-restore yung Guihulngan at saka Libertad? Kasi yung nakita, narinig ko sa iyo kanina, malalot at ano lang nagiging ghost town na ngayon ang
Friday,
Guihulngan.
Mr. Governor.
Friday,
Actually,
including Guihulngan.
Guihulngan, there's even if there is no fault, there was an inspection of the transmission line, Mr. Governor, from south going north. There was no cap visually seen.
So we will expect Friday.
If we can energize tonight the transmission, there's a possibility that the Guihulngan North will already have electricity.
Thank
But
you.
we will not commit to it because we're not sure of the transmission lines of the.
But we are committing to Friday.
But we are committing to Friday. Yes, Friday is the commitment.
Sa hanay naman sa ng agrikultura, si Secretary Alcala.
Magandang hapon po sa mahal na Pangulo, sa lahat po kasama sa pamahalaan. Sa agrikultura po, may ilang hektarya po ng maisan at saka po taniman ng palay na nasira doon sa Guihulngan ay doon po ang corn basket po natin at ito po natabunan po ng landslide. So, inassume na po namin na hindi makarecover pero nasa 56 million po yung nasisira doon kung sakasakali. Pero naghanda na po kami ng pamalitan na 1,000 sako po ng certified seeds. May mga 100 na rin pong bags na open pollinated corn seeds at saka po nasa 2,000 packets ng mga sorted vegetables na pwede pong pamigay sa mga magsasaka. May 5 facilities po na nasira sa Region 6. Worth 2.72 million at 17 facilities po ng irrigation ang nasira dito sa Region 7. Ngunit dahil na nasa process po ng pagtatanim ng mga tao ay pinipilit po namin na matapos po ito within 30 days. Pero in 2 weeks time po siguro po at least 50% of these facilities ay babalikan na po ng patubig. Yung pong sinasabi kanina ng Secretary Mar na problema doon sa NFA rice, kausap na po natin yung regional director at saka po yung manager na pwede pong bumili ng diretsyo mga mamamayan. Isang sako po sa bawat isang pamilya ay 1,350 per bag po. Pwede po kahit po hindi po kailangan naka-register po sila. Pwede po.
Ano availability? How many sacks?
Marami po tayong, ang hawak mo ng NFA doon is 134,245 bags. That's good for 23 days po. So, wala pong problema.
Walang damage sa facility sila para makapunta tayo. Para maka-withdraw.
Wala hanggang Guihulngan po sir, pwede po. Nandun po yung ating warehouse. Sa last po sir ay yung pong Department of Agriculture to Examas ay mayroon po kami mga tao na pupunta sa bawat bayan na 5 bayan kasi it happens po na itong mga bayan na ito ay producer ng livestock. So bibili na po ng diretso sa poultry at saka sa piggery, yung price slaughter po. At papasa po na sa mga magtitinda ng diretso para hindi po magtaas ang presyo. Kasi wala pong namamagitan ngayon eh. So pakikalman po ng Department of Agriculture yun. Tapos yung pong gulay naman ay manggagaling po sa Cantaon, i-distribute po bawat bayan ng ang speedboat ng Bipar. At if ever na ito pong mga tao ay hindi pa makapaglayag sa dagat, pwede pong kumuha ng supply muna ng bahos sa bahis po. Magagaling po sa mga fish ponds at saka fish cages po. Dadalhin din po ng Bipar boats.
Thank you. Ang susunod naman ay ang anay na kalusugan, Dr. Ona.
Mr. President, officials, kababayan natin sa Negros Oriental, yung ating most recent report, there were now 52 injuries and 82 deaths. Tatlong pasyente na ho yung ilipat sa Vicente Soto Medical Center in Cebu City. Both fractures at saka isang spinal cord injury. Now, noong first day, nagpadala kami dito ng rapid health assessment team. At as of today, meron kami 10-man medical team, 4 na doktor and 4 nurses galing sa Vicente Soto Medical Center. Kaya nag-set up na ho kami ng our emergencies medical team doon ho sa Guihulngan and Guihulngan and District Hospital. Meron din minor repairs that has to be done. Subalit, wala namang major destruction daw doon sa hospital na yun. Kaya po, ang akin hong observation na nakita ko ngayon, ang dami hong mga tao na outside, takot at nakatira sa mga makeshift na tent. Palagay ko po, since we are now on the 3rd day, and since alam ko naman natin na itong mga karamihan ng mga bahay ko doon are either 1 or 2 stories, at saka hindi naman of very heavy material, siguro I would probably advise them to have to be safer na bumalik na sila doon rather than matulog sa labas, no, with very inadequate makeshift na housing, kaya po baka lalo sila magkasakit. Subalit, we have enough medicine, we have worth 200,000 pesos medicines na nakarating na ho doon. We have antibiotics, as well as vaccine for tetanus, as well as also yung para sa hyposol, para sa tubig na pwede magamit yun. So, at the moment, wala ko tayong serious medical concern. Subalit ka, maybe ma-reassure na natin yung mga families to slowly go back to their homes just to make sure na sa kanilang pagtulog, total naman, kasi mga bahay nila are not really of strong materials. I think it is safe for them to go back rather than get exposed to the environment.
Mr. Secretary, yung karamihan na hospitalized doon sa Guihulngan, galing lang Guihulngan. Kasi naputol na yung tulay ng Libertad. So, yung galing Himalalod, Ayungon, Tayasan, Bindoy, dito sa provincial hospital natin. Noong hindi pa dumating yung supply ng DOH, ay siniguro kung libre lahat yung na-injured sa Lindon, galing sa provincial government. Now, I don't know if, kasi parang concentration natin doon lahat sa Guihulngan eh. So, kailangan maglagay din tayo dito sa NOPH.
As a matter of fact, na-coordinate ako sa iyong provincial health officer kanina, early morning, para kung maayos ako natin kung saan tayo maglalagay pa ng another emergency health unit.
Pwede naman tayo maglagay doon sa Bindoy. Mayroon tayo doon district hospital sa Bindoy. Eh.
Kasi one ho eh. Yes, so, actually for the province. Titingnan lang namin, kasi kung meron na kami mga preposition yan.
I think it's better to put it in Bindoy District Hospital. At mag-augment lang tayo ng mga medical teams doon. Kasi malapit lang sa Bindoy. Mayroon tayong district hospital doon. So maglagay lang tayo ng mga gamot doon at mag-augment tayo ng mga medical teams doon.
Good, kasi nga. Kaya nga, we are coordinating with your provincial health officer.
Maraming salamat. Si Secretary Robredo naman ng DILG.
Magandang hapon, Mr. President. Dalawa yung binigyan pansin ng DILG. Una po ang kaayusan at seguridad. Kaya po ang PNP Region 7 nag-deploy na ng Regional Public Safety Battalion noong first day ko nung pangyayari. At dahil po may dagdag na pangailangan sa Guihulngan at Libertad, ngayong hapon po magdadagdag. Meron na hong nakadeploy doon. Ang pangalawa, Mr. President, yung commitment po ng BFP hanggang hindi po mag-stabilize yung supply ng tubig, patuloy po magdi-deliver galing po Bacolod, galing Cadiz, Escalante, San Carlos at Canlaon City. Tuloy-tuloy po magdi-deliver until such time na mag-stabilize po yung supply ng tubig.
Thank you. Si Kuan naman ngayon, si DOTC, Secretary Roas.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mayong hapon sa tanan. Mr. President, nandun lang po kami sa mostly nakafocus sa rescue. Dalawa na po ang sasakyan ng Coast Guard na nandito. Kinagamit sila bilang pag-ferry mula dito sa Dumaguete. Yung first trip kayo ng umaga, nagdala ng mga rescue teams at relief goods, pati na rin tubig, patungo sa Polado Port sa Guihulngan. At pagbalik nila dito, dala din nila yung mga casualties na hindi magagamot doon, pero dito gagamutin sa Dumaguete hospitals. No? Ang barkong ito, 35-meter, pabalik-balik lang yan bilang pag-ferry. Nadagdagan kaninang umaga ng second vehicle, ng second vessel na yun din po ang gagawin. Dagdag pa rin yung isang helicopter ng Coast Guard ay nandito, pero pag nag-stabilize na, palagay ko na babalik na rin sila sa kanilang home office. Pagdating naman po ng repair and rehabilitation, titingnan po namin yung mga ports at tatanggapin namin yung reports from the PPA kung ano dito sa mga puerto ang kailanganin ng natin. Thank you, Mr. President.
And finally sa DND, nandiyan po ang mga, Mr. President, yung mga brigades ng 3rd Division. At meron tayong 4 na helicopters na nakalaan para dito sa area ito. 2 na magbabase dito sa Dumaguete at saka 2 sa Mactan. Meron tayong barko ng Philippine at saka yung C-130 na nakita nyo kaninang umaga. Nagdala ng mga pagkain at saka yung mga tubig at yung water purifier. Yun lang po. And finally, yung guidance po ng ating Pangulo.
Page para sigurado lang, yung mga karsada, kailan tayo magkakaroon ng complete access, maski na yung temporary basis, with dirt roads for Municipal, Libertad, and Guihulngan. When can we restore the land route for this people?
Mr. President, I was trying to exact the commitment of the people here. Nandiyan ba si Director Herrera? Director Boy, ang tanong ng Pangulo, how soon? Ano bang...
After the Dumaguete North Road was cut off in several sections. Actually, yesterday we already started to look for
places where we can construct the detour. We hope that the local government units along this road can help us convince the landowners to just let the PWH use the road temporarily, because we just want to restore connectivity along this national highway. So I asked the district office personally yesterday when I arrived from Manila how soon they're asking for maybe 4 to 5 days to establish all the location of these detour roads. Then after that, we'll start working. We already have some equipment made available to us by the the neighboring districts, District 2 and 3, and we were also able to borrow some equipment from our partners in the private sector. The contractors who operate in the area, they volunteered some equipment for our use for free.
4 days to find the route.
That is, sir, because they have to deviate from the alignment, sir, just to get,
Actual construction once you have determined the route.
well, maybe 2 weeks, or we'll try to make it shorter, sir, because I try to get some cost and geodetic survey maps to find the easiest road, because in areas where it's just sea level, it's very easy to just put a spillway. We'll put culverts and some rocks and then put a pavement on top, and that's easy to be done. It's really finding the road that can get vehicles across.
What about those bridges that constructing a detour is impossible?
We have requested the panels from Region 6. They have panels, but we still don't know how many, but we will, in areas where the approaches are the only ones damaged, we can easily restore it maybe in a week's time. It is the bridges that have to be replaced. Actually, sir, the Tinayunan Bridge in Guihulngan is scheduled for replacement this year. In the 2012 budget, we have a 26.8 million, something like that, for that bridge. So I think the earthquake just hastened its demolition. Yeah, it's scheduled for replacement this year, sir, the Tinayunan Bridge.
Kailangan na emphasize yung inaccessibility to these places it really impacts on the living conditions of the people there. We get it bringing the goods, we get it replaced what is being consumed. Yung restoration of the power is also dependent on that. Parang at some point in time, the mga kids that we're very most like neighbor residents, we'll have to be maintained, or they might respond to some other things. So the sooner we get access, the better. So when you report to me that you have opened this, I'll remember how long it took.
Yes, sir.
If you do it very fast, I'll remember in a high line.
Yes,
If
sir.
it takes you 6 months, I'll remember it also in a different line.
No, it will not take us 6 months, sir. So,
Yung kinakopy ko kanina, about 1 month in total. 4 days ganito.
because we have not yet made a complete inspection of the possible detour. So, when I talked to the district person who were going around, they said give us 3 to 5 days to complete the search for these detour roads. Because once we get to the river, then we have to start constructing the spillway.
You wanted to say something?
Dito ako worry sa La Libertad, Guihulngan kasi imposible yung dito eh. Di ba? So, how fast can we para malagay natin yung temporary bridge natin dito? Kasi nahihirapan na itong lugar na ito eh, La Libertad at saka Guihulngan, para magpunta dito sa Dumaguete. Hindi imposible dito sa Dayuyo kasi magkagawa tayo ng detour. Napuntahan kayo ko na ito eh. So dito ang, Mr. Secretary, dito ang problema natin. Yung bridge natin ng in between La Libertad and Guihulngan. How fast can we...
Which bridge are we talking about, La Libertad?
Yeah, yung impossible yung detour eh.
The La Libertad Bridge, based on our report, it's only the approach that is damaged. So there are 5 bridges in La Libertad: Habag, Martillo, La Libertad, San Jose, and
Martillo Bridge.
The abutment collapsed. So actually, the initial
Collapse yan eh. Kailangan niya ng yung temporary bridge eh.
We will try to see if we can install the Bailey bridges. Yes.
because the initial assessment was for it to be replaced. But once we get we're already making arrangements for the shipment of the Bailey panels from Region 6 because they have an excess there. So once we have it, then we'll start working on it on a 24-hour. So hopefully,
Can we have it in a 2 weeks time?
susubukan namin, Governor, and maybe shorter. So we have to see.
When do we get to see the plan?
Sir, actually, ang nagsira doon, sir, is only the abutment. So,
The instructions are connectivity. Yeah. When do we restore connectivity? You're coming up with the plan. When can I expect the plan?
Martillo Bridge is this one, sir. So this is the one that is actually, ito, sir, bumagsak talaga, sir.
I understand you have a big problem. Pero when are you committing to me that you will have come up with a plan to restore connectivity for that person?
Give us 1 week, sir. 7 working days. We'll try to make it shorter.
Parang Friday next week ang pinag-uusapan natin, may working days. Kapag kumain, wala tayo.
Sige, sir. 7 calendar days.
Oh, Wednesday next week.
Yes, sir.
So, claim season gets it Tuesday, reviewing, and submits it to me Wednesday. Please, ganun ba? Just to be clear, hindi ako makalimutin eh. Tatawagan rin ko talaga lang sa Wednesday.
Yes, we will. Actually, sir, if it is below 50 million, I will be the only one to approve that. So, yes, sir. So, we will see if the Bailey Bridge is workable here. But I think, Governor, you can see that the damage was quite extensive. In fact, the initial recommendation was for this bridge to be replaced. So we'll try to see if we can put a Bailey bridge here just to allow even light vehicles across.
Our engineers is very much possible for any.
Can we just situate ourselves no, para can we have the map showing the tsunami areas? Third person yung
The one with the tsunami danger area.
Before that, ganito. No. Explain ko sir. Kung mapapansin nyo,
Hindi pwede mahiwalay yan. Para mapalaki.
pwede ka mong mapalaki mo. Lakihan mo na lang, kopya mo yung slide dalawang beses. Yung may pula po dyan, yun po talaga yung expected natin na 1 meter or more. No? So yung mga walang linya, less than a meter. So ito po yung west side. Ang source po ng tsunami ay yung Negros Trench, yung nag-generate ng magnitude 8.2 noong 1948. So kung next slide pa yung isa po pa. Yung isa pang mapa. Yung nandito. Yung isa pa. Kasi province po yung ginawa natin. Yan. So kung mapapansin nyo, yung nakaharap sa Negros Trench, yun yung mapula, basta 1 meter or more po, no? Pagdating dito sa loob, hindi natin inasang malaki yan. Sa 1 meter or less. No? Kasi, pambihira yung gumalaw dito, no? And so, historically, wala talagang malaki. And even though, maliit lang talaga. So dito po talaga yung Negros Trench, pag gumalaw po, yun po talaga yung mas problema natin sa tsunami.
Please read out the towns.
Okay. Sorry, maliit. Basta dito po, from Dawin.
Kita, Bayawan.
Ito po, Dawin, Sambuanga, Siaton, Santa Catalina. Sa kabilang side, City o Bayawan, Basay. Okay, so yun po nakaharap po kasi yan sa Negros Trench, napapaangat po yung lupa.
then yung mga kasama, pag-ikot ko, well, nung nakikinig muna ako, when it was happening, medyo hina-highlight masyado na parang the end of the world. May parang mali. Kawawa naman yung mga kababayan natin. Yung po yung pictures sa mga batang umiyak. Yung bata ka, first time ko na-experience sa earthquake, yung talagang nakaka-tense. Tapos di nakakatulong pag magre-report tayo ng uncontrolled. Yung it adds the tension. At the papers today, actually, you're reporting 22 casualties. They're claiming, what was it this morning? 70 something like that.
70 and 100.
Yung mga lugar na pinuntahan namin ngayon, they're expecting a tsunami to hit. They're expecting an earthquake to hit of an 8.5 magnitude. And nobody can predict earthquakes. Yeah. Yung tsunami, I think what Vivox is trying to tell us, yung fault line, yung geographical fault that can produce the tsunami exists on the other side. So the areas where they're most tense, can you highlight Libertad? Guihulngan. Sa Kapampangan kasi may earthquake. Guihulngan. Eh, talagang napakalain. Unnecessary tension. Tapos na tumitira doon sa mga tirahan nila, iwan exposure eh. So susunod naman natin siguro problema dito, pneumonia, trangkaso, etc. Yeah. So, kailangan natin kalmahin. Diba, it's good to prepare, pero huwag naman di ba nagkaroon ng chismis eh. It takes chismis. Pinasa, nagdagdag. Eh, unnecessary tension. Okay. Dagdag rin, yung mga tindahan, yung the 15 engineering teams na DPWH has set, no, that actually zero already, and actually is proceeding to the site, to the site. Nakataas sila to do an earthquake survey. This is after the tsunami in Japan. No, ang batas natin kasi is 7.2. Yeah. Roughly sa building code. But the buildings are supposed to be designed to meet the 7.2 earthquake. Pero we're doing inventory, mostly in public infrastructure. Pero total nato na, tinitingnan na rin yung private infrastructure to assess yung damage to them and yung potential, yung risk potential na in case of earthquake. Okay. Now, the instructions are, pag na-inspection na to at deep na safe, no? For instance, yung palengke na Guihulngan, no? Eh, meron yung sa taas ng roof nila, may awning na konti na collapse. Titingnan yung loob, structural result, hindi. Kung meron defects, pwede bang i-shore up to be able to get the merchandise that's already there para ma-inventa na sa mga tao may pangangailangan. Imbis na dadalhin, di ba nandun in place. Pag may disaster, siyempre yung local government units, ang first responder, national comes in, then it has to come in from somewhere. Ang masakit, no? Yung hindi open yung mga tindahan, yung nagbukas kanina, nadugog pa raw. No? So I've tasked the PNP, and the AFP also will be assisting to ensure na may peace tayo at may order tayo habang dinadala itong ating relief supplies. Okay. Now, wala tayong question sa funding availability. Yung effect na SENDO, report na sa akin lahat, tangin natin sabay-sabay, yung kinuwit na tulay is done. The second one, we just have to finalize the design. Tinitingnan ko lang kanina, yung baka magkaroon tayo ng pagbabago sa mga road network. Nung pagsilip lang natin sa mga bumya, pag tinanganan mo yung lupa, bigayin mo, napupulbo ka agad eh. So yung pinapatungan, hindi ganun ka-compacted. Okay. So pag dinesign pa yung at tabing dagat. Tabing dagat, medyo malakas yung ulan, malakas yung wave, asfalto, hot asphalt, matutunaw, wala tayong ginawa kung di-repair ng repair. Siguro ang importante, ang instructions DPWH, when you start designing all of these road networks, make sure that we do not have a situation na mawala yung connectivity. Para pa natin ma-maximize na ma-maintain yung ating road networks, for instance, to be able to bring in whatever has been broken. Okay. Yung DTI is already working on, we can do two routes. Baka may magsamantala, pag nagbukas yung mga tindahan, biglang price increase. No? There is a law that authorizes me, once a state of calamity is declared, to have price controls. Pero before we get to that point, kinausap nila yung mga manufacturers and distributors of the basic goods to be able to access their products diretso from the factory to the consumer in coordination with the NFA and yung access sa NFA rice. They have talked to them, there's a meeting this afternoon. They're shipping by tomorrow. They should be selling by Friday. Yung ating mga cash forward programs, again, to augment those who have lost their livelihood at this point in time. Yung very few houses are, so far, are in need for the core shelter financing. Paalala ko lang sa Cagayan at sa Iligan, we're doing 5,000 houses there. You're doing, for this one, it's about less than 100. Yeah? Meron pa yung committed na kami for SENDO. Ngayon yung issue sa lupa. So, kay Gusto ko, konti pasensya. We've already talked to Secretary Reyes to examine yung lupa available sa Libertad, agricultural land. So, there are, if government expropriates it, it has priority over the land reform beneficiary. Kung doon natin i-relocate yung ating mga kababayan na endangered sites. Yung, ayaw ko naman magdagdag sa tao, pero sa tutulan, meron tayong geohazard map at medyo parang may pinapakita. Yung scale is the 150,000.
Yes, 1:50,000.
Wala pa yung 1 to 10,000.
Wala pong available na Facebook.
Where yung scale na available is 1 to 50,000. Pag tinignan nyo yung parting itaas na yan, parang lahat ng geohazard. No? Ililiit yun. Magiging mas pino. Matutukoy kung saan yung talaga may pangalit. Pero ang issue dito, yung sinasabi ni Greg, ulitin ko lang, no? Nasa taas ka ng bundok, yung lupa tinutuntungan mo, maluwang, in-earthquake pa, lalo lumuwag, pag umulan, talagang luluwang ng gusto yun, prone sa landslide. So baka meron tayo, yung tinas ko ng DOSD, pag-aralan, ano ba dito ang talagang kailangan tayo maglikas ng mga kababayan natin? Dagdag na yun sa danger sites. So nakikiusap ko, magtulungan na tayo dito. Ang choice, simple-simple, iwan nyo doon, na nasa lagi sa pangalim, o ayusin na natin yung paglilipatan, ilayo sa pangalim. Try ko naman, yung mas matinong desisyon doon talaga, ilayo natin. Ulitin ko lang po sa inyo, no? Hindi kami nakakako dito. Ready tayo kumilos sa lahat dito. May mga konting tatapusin ng mga design, yung acquisition of land, etc. Pero focus nga ako, matapos na natin as much as possible yung sa sentro at lalo doon sa earthquake. Pero ang immediate need, no, balik natin kanina, yung tubig, yung bigas, yung pagkain. May pinasok ng mga tubig na bottle, may pagkain na tinala lang kanina bata pa lang, may dumao, may hapon, na may dala-dala hanggang lutuan, hanggang tents, hanggang generating sets, banig, purification tablets, si Congresswoman Josie, may nakuha. Pero yung plant at isang purification plant, tama, for Guihulngan. Hindi na naman. Guihulngan. At saka Libertad. No? Tapos which of the two, yung ma-restore ka rin tubig? Libertad. Libertad, we're hoping tama yung pagkapaliwanag sa amin kanina. It's still half a kilometer of pipes. 500 meters na i-reinstall mo. Hindi ganun kahirap ro yun. Lalo na kung hindi babawan. Parang temporary muna, surface muna siya para ma-restore yung water right away to at least the Libertad. And di ba sa Guihulngan, ganun yung sinasabi, may portions, hindi pa lang na-identify yata yung concept. Pero I think what is important is the water supply. It is available. It's really just the distribution that has to be handled. Nung nangyari sa Cagayan, pati yung source ng water natabunan. So, we're a little bit better off. Okay? I'd like to compliment all of our personnel who have been here from the time that it struck. And I also pay special attention to Colonel Patrimonio is head of the brigade, no? The battalion, the brigade. And he actually has suffered a personal loss. He left his mother's way just to fulfill his duties here, which is typical of a lot of personnel. Colonel Patrimonio, representative. So, we're not going to stop here. Pero pakiusap lang, para sa akin yung pinaka-important, yung urgently, is to really, not to give our people a false assurance na wala ng aftershock and all that. But that's not the point. Pero siguraduhin naman natin huwag nadadagdagan yung anxiety, yung agam-agam na may parating na mas malaki pa. I think we should investigate. Cebu, there was somebody who was going around on a motorcycle saying that the water was already coming into Cebu. There is such a law, yung scandal and alert, pag may nasaktan pa, etc. Have your legal officers view it. Yung people who have done this maliciously, I think should be found, and should be arrested, should be charged. Okay. Para, tapos, may ito rin tayo, tulungan natin people to be able to spread the correct information to safety based on this. Tapos, maki-expedite lang everybody's portion. Those who have to acquire the land, those who have to design, those who have to plan the new infrastructure. Everybody's role has to be expedited. Kung pwede, done yesterday. Ngayon, the next time I come here, let's say 2 months' time also, at pareho-pareho ang sitwasyon that we're looking for, medyo kind of hard to understand. Pag wala pang nangyayari. Okay?
Municipality.
Sir, happy birthday again. And while I keep telling my people that we are not really in danger of tsunami, but it's very hard to control their fear, especially on Monday when everybody was like panicking around. And in fact, in my city, I had 2 deaths. One was a resident of a neighboring town who was in my city withdrawing as a beneficiary 4-piece. When she saw everybody panicking, she ran, fell, hit her head, suffered a stroke, and died. So instead of casualties from natural calamities, it's a man-made calamity. But even the people who were closely in my circle that I've been telling time and again, even a year before, that we are not in danger of tsunami at the advent of the Japan calamity, could not quite remember what was said because they were just really in a state of panic. And in fact, this afternoon, I called for a general assembly to once again inform them that it is not true. But may I ask Director Solido for exact details if he could provide us, that I may also impart it to my people because, just to assuage their fears last Monday, we really identified what barangays are going to go to what certain areas just to really address their fears of being near the water. I have 5 questions listed down. I know we're not vulnerable to tsunami, but I'd like to get on air in my city and let my people know. And if we could also let it be known to the entire province, maybe please know what magnitude of earthquake will cause a tsunami. Sige, one by one, alright.
Ang minimum magnitude to generate a small tsunami is 6.5. Kaya po tayo nagsabi na baka mayroong maliit na tubig. Pero hindi po yung life-threatening. Kaya hindi po kasama ito sa life-threatening na tsunami.
Alright. Second question is, how much time or minutes from impact of the earthquake will it take for the water to gather and come back as a tsunami?
Ang initial interview po natin, the water receded after the earthquake and it came back 2 minutes after. So usual po, kapag local po ang earthquake at malapit ang dalampasigan, 2 to 5 minutes nandiyan na. Pero dahil makipot po ang pagitan ng isla ng Negros at Cebu, magkakaroon po ng pagbalandra ng maliit na tubig. At yun lang po naman po ang makikita nila, not more than a meter. So kahit nga umatras lang sila ng konti, hindi sila kailangan mag-evacuate. Magmamatsak ang pinaka-importante.
Yes, we do understand that, and in fact, I keep telling the people that it's close to impossible to have an earthquake because we can't even establish our municipal waters because the distance between Negros and Cebu is it can't even reach 15 meters. At any rate, given a certain intensity or magnitude of earthquake, what rise, how much, or how high will the rise in water, or what height of waves will be expected?
Okay. Yung 6.9 ay meron kaming na-confirm na half a meter or less lang. So, hindi na po posible na 6.9 ang magagaling na lindol in the very near future. Kasi, naubos na yung naipon niyang enerhiya, nagre-relax na lang yung fault. Kaya may aftershock.
Right now?
Yes.
So, 6.9, 1.5 meter increase.
Half a meter lang.
Half a meter, I'm sorry. 6.9, half a meter. If you go 7, magnitude 7.
Almost the same, less than a meter yun kasi maliit lang diferensya.
When will you get to 1 meter? What magnitude?
Mga 7.5. But, again, ulitin ko, yung position nyo, hanggang 6.9 nga lang po eh. So kaya nga, hindi po kayo kasama dito sa pula.
I know, but I just want to,
7.5, malaki na po, at least a meter po yun.
So if it's 7.5, it will rise to 1 meter.
At least.
What difference in magnitude will give a certain difference also in the rise of water level?
Well, half a unit of magnitude. For example, magnitude 8, yung iba umabot na sa 5 metro yan.
5 meters, magnitude 8.
Depende po yan sa slope ng tubig, saka kung patag yung lupa.
Right. Fourth is, trying to get it straight. If 6.9, half a meter, 7.5, 1 meter rise in water, these are waves already?
Well, at least more than. Yeah.
Waves already?
Yes, waves. Pero ulitin ko po, mama.
Yes.
Hindi naman mangyayari dito.
Yes, I know. I'm just really stacking up on my data.
Okay.
How much area is needed, ito po, for water to gather mass, width, and height?
Yung pag-atras niya o yung pupuntahan? It doesn't really...
In Japan, they were facing the Pacific Ocean, so there was like so much width for the water to go back. and gather
okay.
mass and strength.
Okay, explain ko lang. Yung pag-atras po ng tubig ay depende yan doon sa kantil ng slope nyo or yung slope lang. Hindi nyo naman po, ano yan eh, hindi nyo naman masasabi kasi pag bago-bago po ano. Now, ang importante, ang 6.9 ay wala pa ang kalahating metro. So, ibig sabihin, mas mataas pa ang alo ng bagyo yan kung titingnan natin. Kaya nga, sinabi natin, ay magmatsyag lang kayo, wala namang order for evacuation. So, yun po siguro ang titingnan natin. 6.9, mukhang hindi na masyadong maliit ang probability na maaabot yun. So, wala kayong panganib sa tsunami so far.
So we cannot measure the width or the breadth of water that it can gather mass strength and
Wala, hindi po namin talaga ginagawa yun. It's just simply how high the land from
the bottom.
the bottom, kung paano siya taas, yun yung equivalent na magmumultiply po yun. So, yung atras po, depende po yan sa slope nyo.
Alright. And then, last, sir, given, would you know, given a certain height of waves, how much land area will it cover at one speed?
Okay. Depende po yan sa slope ng land nyo. Hypothetically, hypothetically 1 meter, hanggang saan yung 1 meter elevation nyo? Yun lang po. Pero kung maraming nakabara, like mangrove, ay hindi po yun naabot sa elevation ng 1 meter.
I know, sir, we do have mangroves, but when I talk to my people, I want to give them this data so that it reinforces in their mind that when they hear a tsunami alert, they don't, it was really like crazy.
Tama po yun. So pag sinabi natin, hindi lalagpas sa 1 metro, like alert level 2, mean sea level, dagdag kayo ng 1 meter, saan yung 1 meter na aabutin nun? Yun lang po. So hindi po ganun kalayo.
Would we be able to calculate the velocity of water if there was?
Pwede po, pwede naman. Kaya lang, hindi nyo na kailangan. Kasi ang importante, mas malakas po yan sa normal wave kasi parang tuloy-tuloy. So, ibig sabihin, kung magsiswimming ka, mahirapan ka mag-swimming. Baka maanod ka. Yun po siguro ang velocity.
Do we have data, sir, that we could
Okay.
access?
In general, yung malalaking tsunami, sa shoreline ay 40 kilometers per hour speed. Yes.
Pero hindi yun ang ina-expect.
Hindi natin in-expect
I
yun
know.
sa inyo.
RD.
It won't happen in your side. It might be on the other side.
Yes, the reason why I'm asking these detailed questions are because I want to be able to tell my people that this is what happened because, the difference in our area, to make it clearer in their minds that it is not in any way possible in our city so that when we ring the bell and it really just means warning, they will really, really take it just as warning because there was a warning and they all thought that water was really coming already. So medyo na-hyper
Yes, tama
sila.
po yun.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Ang problema lang doon during that day is yung communication natin. Kasi kung may communication pa ako sa in-charge mo dito, siguro maka-issue kaagad ako ng statement na huwag tayong magpanik. I issued that statement 4:30. After I read that there was already a lift from tsunami warning number 2. And I explained it to the media that tsunami warning alert level number 2 is for preparation lang yon. Hindi yan for evacuation. So, in-explain ko yan kasi nagpanic na dito sa Dumaguete, pumunta na sa Valencia. So, I keep on telling the people that balik na tayo, sa awa ng Diyos, narinig nila yung boses ko. Ang problema lang natin yung communication doon sa area mo. Willing akong magbili kung ano man ang kailangan doon kasi kasyo lang hindi ko nakita yung tauhan mo dito sa hindi ko makilala eh.
Tama po yun. Talagang mahirapan kayo mag-contact sa isang station na nililindol sa dami po ng taong tumatawag. So, opo, yun po ang sinuggest nyo, magkakaroon kayo ng radio communication.
Because I will see to it that during the time I am on top of that situation. Because
Tama
I
po
am
yun.
the governor of this province.
Tama po yun.
Kaya kailangan ko mag-contact yun siya para marinig yung boses ko doon sa taong bayan na ligtas lang tayo sa tsunami. Hindi pwede yung maraming tawag. Kailangan ko yung clearance niya eh. So, willing akong bibili kung ano man ang kailangan na magka-communicate kami kaagad.
Ang isang issue po dyan, meron kayong direct link sa Office of Civil Defense because the warning goes through them. Sila po talaga, pag sinabi natin walang evacuation, walang evacuation.
Mario, education natin yung sa rainfall, laro last time. what does it mean pag ganito more than average, moderate, kailan naging hindi exam. Yung parang yung fine-tuning yung sa storm signal, like di natin hangin. Pero pag yung rain hindi, sama na rin to. I also have to ask you, what does alert level 2 mean? Why is it 2? Why is it not 1? What is 1?
So, explain ko, no? Apat po ang alert level. Pag malakas ang lindol, walang tsunami threat, 0. I mean, 0 po. Ibig sabihin, walang threat. Para lang maintindihan ng mga tao kasi dahil natin televise po sa CNN, kailangan sabihin natin walang threat. No? Kapag may malaking lindol at malayo po ang panggagalingan, may time for preparedness. Pero walang evacuation. Okay? Pag alert level 2, posibleng gumalaw yung tubig, hindi ka lang mag-evacuate, huwag ka lang pumunta sa tubig at baka maanod ka ng maliliit na alon. Yun lang po, walang evacuation.
0, 1, 2, 3.
May 3 po. Yun po ang talaga nag-evacuate. Parang ready, set, go. Parang yun po.
Kaya yung pumasok sa isip ng tao dito sa Negros during that time is tsunami alert level 2 is evacuation na eh.
That's right. Yeah, that's why we will fine-tune.
Yeah, yes.
We will educate. We will fine-tune.
Yes, sir. Oo.
Yung Dumaguete government propaganda, Channel 4, will actually have a dedicated hour talking about all these things. May agricultural show, may weather show, may seismology, volcanology, etc. Pero mali pa i-explain yung educational aspect. Yung pag-2 kasi, pag-storm signal, di ba? Sa atin, 1, 2, 3. So yung 2 medyo pansinin mo na. So pag nag-alert ka, pwede parang yung 0, 1, 2.
You are just following international protocol.
Yeah, agree. Pero
pwede natin palitan.
Or some, parang make sure everybody who gets the warning understands what the warning is. So back to education. And then any other points? Anybody wish? Okay, thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. President. Marami pong salamat sa inyo lahat.